Well, guess what I got today? This Island Earth, the restored version. And here's what it is. This is the front and this is the back. And if you open it up, it has two sides. It has two sides. See, I prefer this side because it has more information, but it's really up to you. And let's see what it says about it. One of the all-time classic sci-fis to come to Blu-ray. A landmark science fiction film, an intelligent interplanetary epic filled with beautiful crafted designs and marvelous effects. TV God, prepare to blast off the planet Earth with one of the most popular sci-fi films of all time, with an atomic scientist, Dr. Meacham, Rex Reason, creature from the black creature walks among us. Excuse me. Is chosen to take part of a secret research experiment in a remote lab. He quickly discovers that he is involved in an evil scheme by an alien Metalunans to take over the Earth. After he and this courageous Dr. Adams faced a mirror decaying beneath the sea, makes their escape before the lab explodes. They whisk away from the flying saucer to Metaluna, where they're blamed for the destruction. Will interstellar negotiations save the day, or will scientists be forced to take part in a treacherous plan of death? Special features: new 4K scan, the original film elements, the new original perspective stereophonic soundtrack restored by 3D Archive, new audio commentary with audio visual effects, artist Robert Skotek, new audio interview with David Schechter, film historian, new interview with Luigi Cozzi, trailer from hell, Dishonored Earth commentary by filmmaker Joe Dante. 2.5 years in the making, extended documentary, The Making of This Island Earth, theatrical view, theatrical trailers and stills. Well, film fans, I'm going to watch this picture and I'm going to give you my personal critiquing review. Now, This Island Earth is based on a novel by Raymond Jones, based on his experiences in World War II when he used a Pacific island by training the natives in helping to defeat the enemy. He decided to write a novel that focuses on aliens and humans working together, and something goes wrong. Now, with the success of It Came from Outer Space, Universal decided to create a big budget sci-fi picture in color. And I wasn't aware that they shot it on two ratios, the 1:3.7:1 and 1:8:5:1. Although Internet Movie Database claims it was shot by 2001, but it might have been off framing, which is a reason why they put it at 1:85:1, because that other one might have offset the frame. Now, the problem was that Universal did not give enough budget to the film, and because most of the plot and story was mostly on Earth and only last half of it was outer space, and one special effect artist had the ideal of putting more interesting things in the outer space scene, but Universal said it cost too much money and he got mad and walked off the set, but once he got back, he got fired. Clifford Stein took over the special effects. Now, this movie did not make the money that Universal thought it could make, because the interest in sci-fi films were small back in the 1950s, or maybe it was modern. It just wasn't a big hit. When Jeff Morrow read the script, his character was a mean, vicious alien named Exter. Yeah, Exter. And he didn't like it. So he told the script writer and the director, I think, that he wanted to change his character into being a sweet, humane alien. Now, Rex Reason plays a scientist who works for a private company in experimenting in nuclear energy. And he just came back from a project that he had just finished. And after he's been interviewed, he flies back to his laboratory in his plane. And he has an assistant played by Robert Nichols. And all of a sudden, as he's going onto the landing, he's there, and all of a sudden something takes control over his airplane, and it becomes green tinted, and his assistant Robert sees that and doesn't know what to make, and hears the same noises, and he's about to crash, but the airplane takes automatic control and comes down and lands automatically very safely. Now back at the laboratory with Robert Nichols' as assistant, one of his experiments, the diodes on the right side of the machine, go bad. And so he has to replace those diodes. But all of a sudden, Robert gives him this envelope of unusual diodes, and he thinks it's a joke because that ain't how they ship it, and it looks too strange. So he calls up the main office and asks about this, and they told him they haven't sent him any new stuff since for months. So they test it, and it's durable. And the next day they get a catalog, and that's when they discovered where they got the diodes. So they decided to buy the rest of the parts to create a scientific experiment. Once they finish, they can't turn it on. They just can't turn it on. And a voice says, put in the color disc, and they put it in, and voila, it becomes a 1955 color TV set. And it's that actor who plays Exter, and he tells them that he wants to hire Rex Reason to do some experiments with him on nuclear experiments with him, but Rex is not too sure that he wants to go, but he tells him that his airplane will show up the next day whether he's there or not. So with Robert, his assistant, they go to the airstrip, and all of a sudden, the plane shows up, and Robert stays home. He goes in. It's automatic pilot, and Exter is talking to him, and he thinks he's going through outer space. Rex Reason But all of a sudden it lands the next day, and it's Earth, and all of a sudden the car drives up, and it's Faith Demure playing Dr. Ruth Adams. Excuse me. And she says that they're in Georgia, and all of a sudden Rex Reason as Megan recognizes the woman they got together when they were in school, and she just denies it. And they go to the place where they're going to work, and it's the same prop that was used in The Creature Walks Among Us. And they go in, and Russell Johnson, who plays Skipper in Gilligan's Island, plays a scientist. They go up and they talk about something, and then they stop. And then something is wrong here. And right after dinner, they show both Russell Johnson and Merg shows the scientific laboratory that Rex Reason is supposed to work at, and they finally revealed themselves. She told him she was a woman that he was with years ago, but they had to keep a secret because they're really concerned about that everybody is being their minds are being controlled, and they don't know what to think about it. And so they all agreed that they would all check it out. But guess who's spying on it? Exter. Exter's boss, the Monitor, is impatient about the project, and he wants to have everybody destroyed and every evidence. But Exter wants to not destroy Ruth and Carl Meekin. So all three of them, Rex Reason, Faith Demure, and Russell Johnson, get in a car to take off to leave that dangerous place. Brack, played by Lance Fuller, tries to stop them with telepathic electronic beams, trying to destroy them. And then Russell Johnson feels they need to spread out, so they let Rex Reason and Faith Demure out, so they protect themselves in the cold water of the pond. And he goes directly, and all of a sudden the beam hits him and destroys him. And one of the German scientists, who are very well aware of what's going on, see what's happening, he gets destroyed too. And then all of a sudden they get on the plane and try to go, and you see that house explode. And then all of a sudden they get sucked up. They get sucked up by the flying saucer, and he calms them down and tells them to trust him. And of course they're mad at him because he killed everything. He killed everybody. And he said it couldn't be helped. It couldn't be helped. As Faith Demure and Rex Reason discovers, Jeff Morrow's character Exter comes from a planet called Metaluna, and it turns out that it's dying because another planet's at war with it. Well, as soon as they reach the headquarters at Metaluna, it discovers that the Monitor, played by Douglas Spencer, the president, wants to wipe out the human race and Earth to get revenge at the problems that they are having. And back in the 1950s, the effects of Metaluna, which is an underground city, was so big, it was almost like Star Wars. And now all hell breaks loose. It does. And as I can remember, uh, the colorful special effects of the beams are effective, even though the alien is ridiculous. It's just as equally effective. Now for the sound process. This movie was recorded, even though the Internet Movie Database does not mention it, from Perspective Sound. Perspective Sound is a fake stereo, and I admit it's not all that great, but it's better than nothing for theaters to save money. And it actually breaks up a single soundtrack into 3 speakers. And so, if somebody talks on the right, the speaker, talks on the right, and then it'll hit the right speaker. If it goes on the left, voice go on the left, it'll be the left speaker. If the voice goes on the center, it'll be center speaker. And if there's just music, then it'll play all through the speakers. And the same thing with action on the right and on the left. But the problem was when you had dialogue and semblance music sound monorail. Now don't expect it to be the kind of stereo sound that you hear in Universal classics like Wings of the Hawk, and It Came from Outer Space, and the Glenn Miller Story, and the 1960 4-track remix version of Audie Murphy's Hell and Back and Spartacus. For that is actual true stereo, but it's pretty fair. No wonder when they would release these movies on VHS and DVD years early, they wouldn't use a perspective track, because they would just remix some of the original tracks. Now, what I don't get it is that you're right, Universal did not bring a big budget. Maybe they should have added budget and shot it in 4-channel stereo, and they probably would have put the 4-channel stereo on there. And also, it includes the black and white 50 feet 8mm home movie version of it, and the 60mm 400-foot edited sound version. Now it did not make enough. It wasn't a hit, but Universal wasn't just relying only that to make money. They had some other hits in 1955. Like the movie with Jane Russell and Jeff Chandler. I forgot the name of it. That was a hit. I think there was an Abbott Costello film that was a hit, but they weren't relying on that. Now, on the audio commentary, David Schechter discussed the music semblance. So when I turn on again to watch the movie for the audio commentary, all of a sudden the Universal Globe music that introduced this island Earth was actually in stereo. Oh my goodness, did I press the wrong button? So I turned it back and it was mono. I didn't understand, so I put back on the commentary. Well, he was talking about semblance music, and he was actually playing orchestra recreations more recently recorded from a CD, and I swear the semblance music of This Island Earth was a lot better than the Spectre sound version. And then they played the semblance music from Creature from the Black Lagoon, the scene where when Julie Adams would jump into the lagoon and swim, but in stereo. And boy, I thought it sounded a lot better. Now he didn't last very long. I think it was less than 25 minutes he went on. But Robert Skotak was talking about the colorful effects of the movie, and he lasted long from the beginning to the end. And he was expressing how excellent the color effects were, and how they make the smoke. They took the three colors and make it separate, they make the smoke separate, and those blowing up scenes. So the movie is really worth buying if you want to. I wasn't aware that it was restored in 2019. That's when the COVID happened. I just wasn't aware of it. And it is a lot better than it used to be. And I think you like it, but it's up to you. So, if you like this story, if you like this review, please like and comment, and I'll show you again the thing. See? 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 Bye.